Hi, good evening. My name is Marshall, and we'll discuss about what we saw today on BBC One Panorama, talking about Bitcoin and becoming a millionaire. Just want to go straight into what I got. I received a text message from a friend of mine saying to me that it's coming on, and also in the WhatsApp with so many groups are there giving the same information, and I switched on straight away. And straight away I was trying to see that the valid points which made sense or which didn't make sense, and how people's opinions are. And you will always get opinions, and that is fine. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. So my own personal opinion about Bitcoin, I think it's going to work. This is something that I personally believe in because it has worked. I have made enough payments on it to know that it works. And cryptocurrency is the future. It's here to stay, whether you like it or not. You can't do nothing about it. It is here to stay, and it will do. So with much further ado, I'd like to talk about straight away about what they discuss as points, and then what we could discuss as well. So you had somebody on there, the global chief, what do you call it, economist, which was Paul Donovan of UBS, and saying it's a bubble and it's going to blow and it won't last long. Well, how is that possible? When we look at banks will always have that opinion about it because they're losing a lot of money. Let's get straight to the point. They are losing money when cryptocurrencies evolve because they make nothing. Now, if you and I know, when you have money sitting in your bank account, okay, at the end of the year, what do they give you on that? Pennies, peanuts. What do they do with the money while it's sitting in the bank? Do you think it's just sitting there doing nothing? Every day on the foreign exchange, they are playing with money. Every time that when you've heard of banks, when governments have had to come in and bail them out, why? Where has it disappeared to? Because you think your money's safe. When you go to a cashier's till, have you noticed that on the top of that there's a sign, all right, saying that your money is only protected, I think it's to about £75,000, £80,000. That is it. So you could have £500,000, you could have £2 million, all right, but you're only protected up to £75,000. That's it. So they can play with the money and do what they want. They see something new come in, and then they start to go on the attack and offensive about like the dark web. That well, yes, of course, no doubt people have been using it for that. But what's the main reason? Why do people want to move away from that? Because about the charges that banks charge, how much money they make. Okay, and that's why cryptocurrency is a success, and it's here to stay. Whether it be Bitcoin Cash, Ripple, whatever the others, Ethereum, Litecoin, there's so many coins out there, and it's here to stay. So whether you like it or not, bankers get used to it, because even in Ripple is a coin where a lot of banks have invested into there. As I'm just making this here, I'm just going to bring my page down a bit, and in the background, I'll just start off with the example. If we just look at 50 Cent, okay, he just became a millionaire from Bitcoin, and he didn't even realize. Now, he did the, he did a concert, and in the concert he was charging Bitcoin, and just recently found out he had, I think it's about 700 Bitcoin, or as you can see here, there's plenty of, if you Google it, you'll find enough information about 50 Cent and Bitcoin, and you'll see that, he's made millions. So whether people see it or not, there's a lot of artists right now, and they're taking payments in Monero, other forms of cryptocurrency as well. Now, if we look at in the world, do you realize that over 2 billion people don't even actually own a bank account? They don't have a bank account, but what they do have is a mobile phone. They have a mobile phone. And they can send messages, they can receive messages, and they can do so much more with just having a mobile phone. So if you have cryptocurrency, they'll have a wallet where they can make payments without a bank. Who's talking about cryptocurrencies, and who's talking about these developing countries? The likes of Bill Gates, the owner of Microsoft, Sir Richard Branson. I mean, a phenomenal human being of what he's achieved in his life. Jack Ma, the owner of Alibaba.com. These are people who are talking about cryptocurrencies. They are billionaires. They're so successful in their businesses and what they've achieved. And they're talking about it. and how much effect it will happen. I personally know that I was speaking to an accountant that I know, and his name's Hugh, and he told me himself that he was trying to he sent a payment to Nigeria, and that it took a good few weeks for that payment to receive there. And then the next time he paid via Bitcoin, and they received it within half an hour. That is the power of cryptocurrency. It can even on certain other platforms, it can happen within milliseconds, seconds. Like you just put it here and then within seconds the blockchain, the payment has gone through. So we've talked about 2 billion people, okay, not having bank accounts, so they can't even access a bank account, all right. Talked about UBS and the global chief, economist. All right, we've talked about the dark web. Now a bit more about the dark web. Cryptocurrency wasn't made for this. It was made because after the crashes what happened in the stock market, someone who came up with the ingenious idea that, you know what, cryptocurrency should be the future. So it started out in 2008. It came onto the scene mainly in 2013 in a big way, and then from there onwards it's just been coming out, and as you can see now there's thousands of currencies out there. So I say to people about things that why was it invented? Because people say, yeah, people for the dark web. But it wasn't just made for that alone. I mean, at the end of the day, right now, there's big companies who accept Bitcoin. Tesla accept Bitcoin. I know that Lamborghini accept Bitcoin. And there's more people. There's properties people are now doing on Bitcoin. There's also, I want to show you here, there's a website that you could go onto, which you could order it. I mean, let me just show you. Here's the website. All right. I don't know if you can see the name or not, but I will bring it down for you so that you can see it. Here you go. All right, and it's called abitsguy.com. Now, if you look at this very carefully, okay, I'm just going to bring my page back up again here. All right, and as you can see here, all right, on this website, what are you getting? You can see here that Glasgow, and it tells you how much BTC, London, okay, long haul flights, and then all the prices are here, vacation deals as well. So you can pay by Bitcoin. Isn't that amazing, hey? Even hotels, not just one thing, many things, and you can see here. No, these are just normal prices. It's gone onto there. I think it's opened up to a new page. And so this shows you how powerful, you know, as you can see here, buying flights. All right, this is one thing alone. All right, here we showed you about. Now, if you go into Google and put in which banks have invested into Bitcoin, because that's what I put in there. I just put it in there. I just want to show you. I'm going to bring the page down and bring it back up again. Okay, and then as you can see here, there's plenty of banks that you can see here. I don't need to click into everyone, but you know, it tells you that, you know, that banks are getting involved into cryptocurrencies. CoinDesk, okay, French bank BNP Paribas is reportedly looking into the possibility of adding Bitcoin to one of its currency funds. Independent.co.uk, what's the World Central Bank saying about it? So, you know, there's all the information is there, and the banks are jumping on there. So this is very important that you please do your own due diligence. Now, it was sad to hear that one of the ladies on the, what do you call it, the program tonight, that she put all her life savings in there. You should never put your life savings in there. Please only put the money that you can risk losing. I know people who are getting on credit cards, but isn't it amazing that you can buy a house on credit? But they were just trying to stop this here. Yeah, okay. But if you've got cash in your account, but you can buy it through there. Okay, fine. But just please do not put money into this. That money that you cannot afford to lose. If you've got rent to pay, your mortgage to pay, please don't do that, okay? Just put in money what you can. Now, you don't need to buy one whole Bitcoin, because one Bitcoin is like over £6,000. So you don't need to do that. You can buy a part of a Bitcoin. If it's £100 worth, you can buy a little bit of Bitcoin. That's all. And then you can add up to that if you want to. You can buy it on a weekly basis and add it up as you go along. All right. There's other ways of doing it as well. As in the program they were talking about in Panorama, they were talking about mining. I'm a big fan of mining, and I do that. I'm with a company called Galaxy Mining, and I'm with a company called BitClub. And it's so important to understand and to follow through with that, you know, these mining farms are out there, and you can see that they were showing it's phenomenal. So, you know, there's so much things, but please do your due diligence. Make sure you look into the company that you want to, work with, and then take it from there. So moving on from there, also, then they showed on the program about a young man called Jeremy Garderner. He's a 25-year-old, and they call him the King, yeah? He said on the program that if he lost 95% of his Bitcoin cryptocurrency value, he still would be very comfortable. And he's only 25 years old. So I'd really like you to see all these youngsters and the young people who are into this business as well, how they're going about it. And again, they're spending a lot of time, and I think it's very important to have a look at that also. So I hope that this was helpful information for you, and it helped to understand that we're gonna have two sides of the story. I personally feel that you're in control yourself. Your own mobile phone is your bank. Carry it whenever you want. It's your money. You should be in control of it, not somebody telling you and asking you all the time. And we know Big Brother's watching us anyway. I like the way that they were talking about terrorism or whatever. I'm sure that normal governments sell arms to them, but there's nothing mentioned on that side. We can take it from history at any time you like. The Iran Gate war, the Iran Gate affair, that happened in 1981, round about there. And there's many stories like that out there, but they will not be covered. Whatever the press and the news and TV and whatever coverage they'll give it, and that's why the hype went so high, and that's why it went really, really high. It probably would have been normal to gone up to about 10,000, but instead it went so high because it came into the news and everybody said, oh my God, this is the latest gold rush, and they quickly bought into it. And then they got cold feet and then they sold it very quickly. Right now people are selling like crazy, and it's like, fine, if anyone can afford it, what a great time it is to buy. And the market average is fluctuating, fine, but it's going to go up and up as people spend more time and get more comfortable with it. They will make sure that they will go into this. Either it be Bitcoin itself, BTC, Bitcoin Cash, and Ripple. There's just so many currencies out there. Ethereum is doing very well. Litecoin is doing very well. I remember when these coins were like £3. My own story is that I had a chance in October 2016 to buy 6 Bitcoin, and I didn't. And because if I'd bought the 6 Bitcoin, I'd be so happy right now. I'd be so happy right now. A friend of mine got married, and he told me that for his wedding present, he got 6 Bitcoins. And he thought it was funny at the time. And now knowing what its value is and what it's worth, he's over the moon. He's absolutely couldn't believe it. What a wedding present. He thought it was probably the worst thing that he got, and now he knows it's the best thing that he got. Because even in today's value, if it's at £6,000 and 6 Bitcoins, that's 36,000. Not a bad wedding gift, eh? I wish I had that wedding gift, but there you go. So I hope that you found this video helpful. In Panorama, I hope that, people can see both sides of the information. Listen to what the bankers are saying, but also listen to what the other people are saying. And wait for yourself, and you'll see that cryptocurrency has come out top. Where you have the dark web, yes, people will have a look at that, and that is one side of this information, but there's other sides to it as well. Where there's good points, there's bad points as well. People can be paid instantly, within seconds they can be paid. So people in developing countries can make payments straight away, and there'll be no third party to make money in between. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do subscribe, like, and share. Thank you.